Hey everybody in the interweb. Today we're going to be making a delicious Italian staple, chicken parmesan. I'm Chef Cash White, and I'm here because God delivered me from my circumstances and put me in a place where I get to share my love of food with you. All right, first thing we're going to do is we are going to pound our chicken. I'm going to start off with a little saran wrap. We want to cover our cutting board just like this. And what we have is butterflied chicken breasts. I had my butcher butterfly these for me. Now you can always do it yourself, but a lot of good butchers will be happy to do this for you. Now lay your chicken down and go ahead and cover it with a second piece of saran wrap, kind of locking it in there. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna start pounding it. We're gonna be using a meat tenderizer today. We're gonna use the flat end of the meat tenderizer and we're gonna pound the chicken out until it's uniform thickness, about a 1/2 inch. All right, now we have it pounded to a uniform thickness, just about like this. Do the same thing with the rest of the pieces of chicken. One good thing about this recipe, you don't have to dice any tomatoes. All right, we're gonna set up a breading station now. Breading station is a 3-area station. We're gonna start on the very first, we're gonna have all-purpose flour. The second one, an egg station. I have 4 eggs here. Just gonna beat those together real quick. And in the last station, we're gonna have some seasoned panko breadcrumbs. I'm gonna start here with some all-purpose flour. And I'm gonna have equal parts all-purpose flour and panko breadcrumbs, about 1.5 cups each. Then I'm gonna add about 1/2 cup of fresh grated Parmesan cheese. We're gonna season it with about 1 tablespoon each of basil and oregano. We're gonna do a teaspoon of granulated garlic. And I'm gonna hit it with 1/2 tablespoon kosher salt. And then we're gonna hit about the same amount of fresh cracked black pepper. Now once we have that, we're gonna mix it up nice and good, nice and thorough. So the way that this works is we're gonna take the chicken, we're gonna dredge it in the flour, then it goes into the egg wash, and the egg's gonna stick on the outside of the flour. Then that egg's gonna make the breading stick on the outside. The little trick I learned making a whole bunch of these in restaurants over the years is you keep one hand always dry and one hand always wet. That way you don't have a whole bunch of clumping of the breading to your hand. We'll start with 1 piece of chicken, dredge it in the flour, we're gonna drop it in the egg. This is gonna be my wet hand. And then we're gonna drop that into our mixture right here. And there we just coat that really good, both sides. Flip that over with my dry hand. I'm gonna place this guy right here. We'll move on to the second piece. I'm gonna dredge it in the flour, then to the egg, then to the other bread. All right, now that our chicken is breaded, we're gonna put it in an oven that's been preheated to 350 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes. Reason being is we want the chicken to start cooking, so when we fry the chicken, it doesn't actually have to burn the outside to get the inside nice and cooked. All right, so now we're gonna boil our water for our pasta. Start here with some warm water. I'm gonna pour about 1/4 cup of kosher salt in it. That helps it boil a little bit faster and it also flavors the water just a little bit. We're gonna place this guy in the back corner over here, over high heat. All right, we got the water heating up. We're gonna pour about 1/8 cup of olive oil in there just to keep the pasta from sticking together. Okay, at this time, we're also gonna start heating up our tomato sauce. We can make our own tomato sauce from scratch. That's fantastic, but sometimes it's just easier to buy some at the store. It takes a few hours to make some really good tomato sauce. Place that over medium-low heat in the back corner and keep an eye on it. I wanted to share one of my favorite verses out of the New Testament. Let's flip over to 1 Thessalonians 5. We're gonna do 16 through 18. And it reads this way. It says, "Rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you." You know, a lot of people will ask me, well, how do I know what God's will is? How do I know that God's will is active in my life? Well, it says right here, for this is the will of God. So the Word of God is telling you what the will of God is. And this is what it tells you to do. Rejoice always. That means stay positive, fight the good fight. It says pray without ceasing. And that doesn't mean stay on your knees, quiet in a locked room and doing that. What it means is keeping an attitude of open prayer towards God. Be receptive and be in communication with the Lord. And then thirdly, it says give thanks in all circumstances. It doesn't mean that we need to give thanks only when things go our way. It says all circumstances. What it means by that is that we shouldn't assign goodness or evil to things. Evil only exists within the realm of what God allows. See, we live in a world with a sovereign God. He controls everything. So if there's evil going on, God has allowed that evil. We don't understand why, but we need to be thankful that His will is living and it will always work towards a good purpose. Guys, it's one of my favorite verses, and I really just wanted to share what God had put in my heart in my studies. So we'll get back to cooking. Now it's gonna be time to set up our fryer. Our chicken is almost done cooking. When I checked it at 10 minutes, it needed a little bit longer. So I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. So far, we're at about 18 minutes. So in the meantime, we're gonna get our oil hot in our fryer. All right, so we're gonna start with a large skillet. You can use a cast iron or something like this. This is pretty good, it's nonstick as well. We're gonna place it down on here. We're gonna fill it with oil, probably about an inch. It should be just enough for the chicken breast to go down there. Turn it on medium high and keep a very close eye on it. We want it to be about 350 degrees. When you reach 350 degrees, there's gonna be a very distinct shimmer on the top of it. And you wanna try to keep it on that temperature. Just checked our chicken. We're gonna pull this out. What you're looking for is to make sure that the chicken is cooked almost all the way through. We're just about right. It's gonna have a nice springiness to it. And the idea now is to brown it in the oil. So we have that beautiful sheen on top of this oil. We know that it's about right. Another way we can do it is get a little bitty piece of the breading, drop it in, watch it sizzle. What I've set up right here is just a draining station. It's a couple of paper towels folded up on top of a plate. Let's give it a go. Now, whenever you get the frying going like this, we're gonna turn the overhead vent on. It's gonna get the ventilation going. Should take about a minute, maybe a minute and a half on each side. You just want a beautiful golden brown on it. It's important to always keep a very close eye on the temperature. If you have a fryer thermometer, I suggest using it, especially if you don't have a lot of experience working with fryers. Beautiful. Look at that golden brown. All right, once you have a nice golden brown, drain the excess oil off of the chicken and lay it over here and let it rest. Go ahead and add your second piece. We are finishing up the last piece of chicken right here with a nice golden brown color on it. Our water's boiling back there. We're gonna cook some pasta. Be very careful with this oil. We got a nice rolling boil right here. Take about a ½ pound of pasta and drop it right in. This is spaghetti pasta. It's gonna take 5 to 7 minutes to cook. We want a perfect al dente. Al dente is Italian for to the tooth. And the idea is that when you break the pasta apart, you'll have a nice firm vein running through the middle of the pasta. That way when you bite in it, it's not mush. There's a little bit to it. No crunch, but just a little bit of bite to it. All right, guys, with the oil, once it cools off, you can actually strain it out and keep it in a separate container. And that way you can reuse it to fry things, just as long as you didn't heat it up too much so that it burns something in the oil. It'll be good for 4 or 5 cooking sessions. Now that we're done with the frying portion of things, we can turn the vent hood off. Let the pasta cook. We want it nice and al dente. I'm gonna stir it around a little bit so it doesn't stick together. So, funny story about prison. They actually do serve cornbread with every meal. So when somebody says, you want that cornbread? That's a real thing. How do you think I put on so much weight? Cornbread every day. What sort of questions do you guys have? What sort of things would you guys like me to cook? Y'all have any ideas, suggestions, questions? Y'all leave them in the comments section. We'll be happy to answer anything you send us. And who knows, maybe if you send something good enough, we'll make a video out of it. We'll get to eat it. All right, guys, y'all see that little bitty white portion vein in there? That's what we're looking for. This is a little underdone, but we're getting close. I just wanted to show you before it got too clear for the camera to pick it up. All right, that's gonna be just perfect. Let's pull one out. You can still see the white vein, but it's nice and flimsy now. Cooked perfectly. All right, let's drain this. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now that we have our pasta in a bowl, I'm gonna put just a touch of sauce in it. Make it nice and pretty and pink. I like to do this for some reason presentation-wise. It stuck with me from an Italian restaurant I worked in years ago. And pasta just doesn't look right unless it's a little pink. Now let's go over here and we're gonna set up our plate. So we have all of our components here to build our chicken parmesan. We have a piece of chicken. I'm actually gonna cut this guy in half because these are pretty big pieces of chicken, guys. I'm gonna lay this on my plate. Make sure you have good plates because you're gonna place this in the oven. You're gonna take a piece of sliced mozzarella, okay? Place it on top, and you're gonna take, right here, some grated Parmesan cheese. The grated Parmesan is what's gonna give it the nice, crusty brown top. Now I've set my oven on high broil. We're gonna place this bad boy in there. While we're waiting for that cheese to melt, we're gonna chop up a little garnish. We have here is just a little fresh Italian parsley. I'm gonna give it a little run through with the knife. You could put basil on top if you wanted, parsley, anything. Just gives it a little fresh look and makes it, you know, nice, pretty, and green. Keep a close eye on this because it will burn like that. Now be careful, this plate's gonna be really, really hot, but look at that. We're gonna set this down right here. We're gonna put a little bit of pasta on here. Whenever I serve my pasta, I like to twirl it onto the plate like this, so it'll build it nice and tall. Spoon some of our tomato sauce on there. Garnish with the fresh parsley. Just like that, guys. Doesn't that look delicious? That is our Italian favorite, chicken parmesan. As always, if you like what you've seen today, have some suggestions or ideas, click subscribe and leave some comments. Guys, I'm Chef Cash White, signing off, telling you to keep the faith, enjoy the food. God bless you guys. Love you. Sync pop. It's my kind of music. At one point in time, I had a promising career as a hand model, and then I found out that cooking is so much more fun. Like a fish eating a worm. Hope y'all enjoy all the banter.